Dear Miss Rowling, my name is Lucas Silveira. I'm a singer-songwriter and musician best known for being the frontman of a Canadian rock band called the Cliks. I also happen to be the first out transgender male to sign with a major label record deal, something I am very, very proud of. I'm offering you this information so you have some idea of who I am and why I'm here. I believe in compassionate activism, not cancel culture, so I am here to have a conversation with you about the recent statements you have made about the transgender community. Like many people around the world, I love and connect with the Harry Potter books. Outside of the fact that they were the first books to help me regain a sense of connection with my inner child, to me, those books represented something immensely profound. They represented an anti-fascist sentiment, the resilience of youth, the resistance to racism, inequality, and ethnic cleansing, and the power of community revolting against an evil dictator obsessed with a pure race, who would stop at nothing to eradicate those who are not like him or shared his beliefs. So you may be able to understand that it was a huge shock to read your views on transgender people. I was incredibly hurt to hear that you, one of my heroes, was spreading misinformation and theoretical falsehoods, even creating a platform that empowers bigots and transphobic people, all while using feminist rhetoric as a defense. Last month, as you are no doubt aware, a Republican senator from Oklahoma named James Lankford cited your words in an attempt to block the Equality Act bill that would expand human rights to transgender Americans after a direct attack on those rights by the Trump administration. He weaponized your words against a whole community of people who have been and continue to be violated, persecuted, and oppressed by fascist leaders who believe they have the right to own our bodies, our stories, and our humanity. This is a community with a disproportionately high rate of suicide due to that inequality and lack of access to human rights. So I have some questions. Is this the side of history that you want to be on? When did you start believing that the identity of trans people isn't valid? When did you start to believe that you, as a cis person who has never struggled with gender identity, are an expert on our stories, our journeys, our lives, and our bodies? What propelled you from being the author who created characters that spoke of unity and inclusion into someone creating division by perpetuating false ideas that threaten violence to the most marginalized population in today's society? I also want to ask you why you felt it was important to center yourself in this conversation. Amidst so much worldwide suffering, a pandemic, deadly anti-Black racism, you felt that this was the right time to attack our bodies, one of the most vulnerable, violated, and attacked in our society. You have the right to your opinions in a free society. This is a truth I support. But when your opinions are stated as facts, and those facts put my life and the lives of my community in danger, your opinions become weapons of violence and hatred. So, while you have the right to your opinions, can you do me a favor and stop sharing them so that we don't all get killed? You understand that words have power, and with power comes responsibility. Joanne, I implore you. I know that as part of a community that has been wounded and suffered systemic inequality, that of cis women and young girls, that you would do anything to defend that community. And I applaud that commitment. But what I do not support is throwing another group of people under the bus to defend your own, especially when that population is so incredibly vulnerable to violence. When our fear is so great that we can't see beyond our anger, pain, and resentment, our view becomes very narrow. And in that fear, we can't see that it is in unity and inclusion that we can fight for each other. Trans women are allies because they are women. Trans men are advocates of women's rights. I am one of them. And it is because I have been a woman that I now understand what it means to be a good man. I have a public life, and although I have nowhere near the fame and exposure you've had, I have also made mistakes publicly. I've learned that sometimes when you listen to how others have been hurt by your words, you can use that as an opportunity to learn and grow. I hope you will. But if you don't, I want to let you know something. Though I have no plans of continuing to support your work, if you fail to learn and apologize for your actions, you will never, ever take away what the Harry Potter books meant to me. You see, they're mine. They belong to me now. They belong to us. The tattoos that I have all over my beautiful trans body were inspired by stories that came from your heart and mind. They shall remain as a symbol of my continued fight against inequality, fascism, and anybody who tries to render me invisible as a result of my identity. As an act of resistance to anyone who tries to erase me and those like me, I reclaim Harry Potter in the form of the tattoos on my skin. I am and will forever be a mudblood. So, Joanne, are you with us or are you with you know who? I hope you make the same decision Harry would.